Welcome, dear students. I hope last session that was respiration, you understood the process, inhalation, exhalation, everything you understood. I hope so. Now next topic is our circulation. In that I am taking specially giving focus to the human heart structure. Okay, now this is the structure of human heart. It is little tilted towards left side. Okay, now it is guarded by our rib cage. That means these are the special organs which is completely protected by our rib cage. Okay, now our heart, human heart is a pumping organ which supplies the blood, oxygenated blood throughout the body, and takes a carbon dioxide deoxygenated blood from the body towards heart for circulation and gives to the lungs for purification. So circulatory organ, the main pumping organ of your body is heart. Our heart, human heart, consists of 4 chambers. The upper chamber is called atrium and the lower chamber is called ventricle. Upper atrium, lower ventricle. This is a right atrium, right ventricle. Left atrium, left ventricle. So there are 4 chambers. These are the left side, right side. Left atrium, left ventricle. Right atrium, right ventricle. Now from the you can see from the left ventricle and the left atrium you have the valve, a closing aperture. This is called bicuspid valve. Okay, and from the left ventricle you can see a pipeline is going, that is called the pulmonary, that is called the aorta. Okay, from the left ventricle you can see a pipeline going, that is called aorta. Okay, the branching, it has been shown the branching. Okay, from the right ventricle you can see a pipeline going, and it is the pulmonary artery. Okay, so again from the left ventricle the largest pipeline is going towards the body part, that is aorta. From the right ventricle a pipeline is going, that is called pulmonary artery. Now you can see towards atrium, left side, pulmonary veins are coming towards inside. Okay, and towards right atrium you can see the vena cavas. These two, superior vena cavas, inferior vena cavas. See, remember what all things I am telling, take that into focus. See, our heart is consisting of lot of blood capillaries here and there, because it three-dimensional structure if you visualize, as I showed in the introductory part. Okay, where I have written the heart, that is three-dimensional. So lot of pulmonary arteries and all branches are there. Okay, focus on inferior vena cava and superior vena cava, which is entering inside the right atrium. Okay, again just explaining the structure, carefully look at that. Our heart, little towards left side, we have 4 chambers: upper atrium, lower ventricle. These 4 chambers are very nicely separated by the septum, that is muscular cardium. Okay, a muscular structure. And from the left atrium we are having 2 pipelines, that is pulmonary veins. As it goes towards left ventricle we have bicuspid valve. From the left ventricle we have a largest artery, that is aorta. Towards coming to right atrium we have superior vena cava coming from upside, inferior vena cava coming from downside, which is separated with right ventricle having tricuspid valve. And from the right ventricle pulmonary artery is coming out. Okay, this is the structure of your heart. Now dear students, how it functions. Okay, now carefully remember, the left side is the area which consists of the oxygenated blood, that means which contains oxygen, right? So this is the left atrium, to which through the lungs, if we are writing here lungs, if the lungs are there, through the lungs the pulmonary vein is coming, taking the oxygenated blood and getting inside the left atrium. So that time it will undergo relaxation. Collecting of blood is called relaxation, otherwise called diastole. Diastole, that means relaxation, collection of blood. Now remember, there is a pacemaker, a muscular fiber on the right side of right ventricle, which is supplying all the fibers towards all the area of your heart. So that pacemaker will control the functioning of ventricles and atrium, right? So perfectly when it is the blood is filled and it is pressurizing the valve, suddenly what happens, the valve get contracts, the pressure will be inside, so that pressure will cause the bicuspid valve to open and the blood will flow inside. That means left atrium is now undergoing relaxation, diastole, and the upper left atrium is undergoing systole, that means contraction. Systole, contraction. So systole, contraction, and diastole, relaxation. So automatically here also same issue will develop. When the blood is completely filled, it will allow pressure on the valve, and suddenly valve will give also pressure, which will open the area for going the oxygenated blood towards aorta, and this aorta will carry the blood to the whole body parts, to your liver, stomach, intestines, body parts, everything. Okay, so left side is the area where the oxygenated blood is going on. Okay, now coming to your body parts, from the body parts, the deoxygenated, that means impure blood, which consists of carbon dioxide, is coming towards the right atrium through vena cava, superior vena cava, and the bottom, this one is inferior vena cava. Superior vena cava, which is taking the blood from your upper areas, head, hand, shoulders, from the upper parts. Lower inferior means inferior vena cava is taking from your abdominal part the deoxygenated blood, and it is pouring inside the right atrium. So automatically it will undergo relaxation, that is diastole. As the pressure goes on, tricuspid valve will open and the blood will come here, that is right ventricle. From the right ventricle, it will go towards pulmonary artery, which will take the deoxygenated blood towards the lungs for purification. Again, from the lungs, the pulmonary vein will take inside the oxygenated blood, and it goes on the process like this. In this process, 2 times the blood is entering our heart. That is why our circulation is called double circulation. I will show the diagrammatic view. This is the diagrammatic view of double circulation. See, the heart, from the lungs, pulmonary vein is taking oxygenated blood. From the left side, the aorta is taking oxygenated blood towards your liver, stomach, kidney, lower body parts and all. This all the organs, from that deoxygenated blood is taking through the veins, that is inferior and superior vena cava, to the right atrium to the right ventricle, and from there pulmonary artery towards lungs. Again, from the lungs, pulmonary vein will take the good oxygen. Through the left ventricle, it will go to aorta towards body parts. From the body parts, it will, through the vena cavas, it will enter the right atrium, right ventricle, and the pulmonary artery will go for purification inside the lungs. Now remember this part, heart to lungs, lungs to heart, it is called pulmonary circulation. So this area is called pulmonary circulation. And heart to body parts to heart, it is called Systemic circulation, systemic and pulmonary systemic, these two combines the double circulation. Remember that always. Now dear students, as I told you, arteries, aorta take the blood to your organ. For example, your organ, any part like liver. So always remember, when the aorta is entering your organ, the aorta will differentiate into small pipelines. They are called capillaries. This capillaries will send the oxygen, nutrients to every cell, and as it come out from the organ, it is again joining as the vein. So it can be inferior or superior vena cava. Anyhow, the artery which enters the body parts divides to form small capillaries, and these capillaries, after giving the oxygen and taking the carbon dioxide, it will come out as vein. Okay, this is how the heart functions. I hope the heart structure and function is clear. If you understand, easily, please make a note on that. Okay, and try to draw and study. If you have any doubt, you can just ask, you can comment. If you like the video, please like it, subscribe it.